So the first thing I have over here is dropping the thinking mind. Yeah, when we do focusing, when I do focusing, I notice that people think too much, always thinking. So when somebody comes up for a demonstration, they think that they must have a problem to work with. And so they go to find a problem. And that's already thinking too hard, you know. And then they think that they must find a felt sense. And that too is too much thinking. So one of the things that is very interesting in meditation is, in mindfulness, is to drop the thinking mind and just be aware, is what they say. For example, just becoming aware of the air coming in, air going out. Usually we use the nose for breathing. So air coming in the nose, air going out of the nose. Instead of saying, I am exhaling or I am inhaling, then it's me, me, me. So forget the me, just the air coming in or air going out. Or sitting, it is also like that. People think you have to sit properly, but that's the thought, you know. So instead of thinking that you have to sit properly, you might bring your attention to your sits bones on both of your hips on the left and right, and see if your weight is balanced well on both of your sits bones. And when it is, you'll notice that you're in pretty good posture. So you don't think these things, you bring your awareness to your weight, your sits bones. And you don't have to think for something to focus on. You just wait for a thought to come. Or we might say, if no thoughts come to you for, let's say, 20 minutes, then actually you're doing a fantastic meditation. So when we have a demonstration today, the focuser doesn't have to come up with anything. If no thoughts come, that's beautiful. So you don't have to think you have to do something. But most people will have a thought come to them. And then the point is to become aware that such a thought is there. Then wonder who is thinking this. So behind each thought, there is a felt sense. So use imagery and try to personify this as a self. What does the self look like? How old is the self? What is he or she dressed like? And what is this self trying to tell you? So listen and try to see what this self is telling you. Thank it for telling you this, or send compassion to it. By compassion, I mean, we might use the very typical word we use in mindfulness. So, may I be well and happy, may I be at peace. Because a lot of people don't say this, you know, they don't feel this. May I be well and happy. They think that I should do better, you know, and it shouldn't be like this. I should be better, I could do better. So instead of that, may I be well and happy. The point is not to fight with anything that comes to you, to be at peace with all the selves that come to you. So observe the changes happening to you as you thank the self or as you send compassion to the self. And then come back to the air coming in, air going out. And sit there for a while until another thought process comes. And we'll do the same thing again. The point of this is a little bit different from the experiencing model, okay? There is more of an essence of clearing a space, is to find a space um, and to look at all the selves that you are from a space. So, I like to show this to you as a demonstration. And we have Wendy today, who would be helping us with the demonstration. Is Wendy here?
Hello.
All right, there you are.
Hi, Akira.
Hi, how are you, Wendy?
I'm okay. How are you?
Okay, okay. Okay, so today we're going to be doing Kanga Focusing. And that is to look at the self behind each thought that comes to you and to be thankful and compassionate to the many selves that are in you. Okay, so I'd like to demonstrate this with you. Should be, let's say, 20 minutes. And then we can discuss later about it. Okay, are you all set?
Yeah.
So first we'd like to start mindful sitting. So one thing that we do is try to see where your weight is on your sits bones. Yeah, you see a lot of monks going like this. And trying to find a point of balance where your weight is equally distributed on your left and right sits bones. Okay, and rotate a little bit forward and backwards to find a place that feels right for you. Okay.
I found it.
Okay. Now become aware of the air coming in to your nose. And the air going out of your nose. And you'll notice that when the air comes in, your chest and abdomen rises. And air goes out, chest and abdomen falls. So you might use the expression rising and falling quietly to yourself when you notice the rising and falling of your chest and abdomen. So now if you can sit for 20 minutes just attending to the rising and falling, that's beautiful meditation. But if some thought comes to you, we'll work with that. So let me know.
I think the first thoughts that are coming
Yeah.
feels like I'm thinking about how much air I'm taking in. It's like there's a thought that like it doesn't feel like as much air as I can get. Like it's shallower
Okay.
than I would expect it to be.
Then be aware that you're thinking that your breathing is shallower than you would want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
And then think, who is it that has this thought? I see you smile a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. I'm kind of noticing what this kind of self is like,
Yeah.
and it's like I'm seeing myself. Um, it's kind of like she's like a hostess, trying to like straighten things up. Like, it has to be just like just so, trying to check about,
Hmm.
even even as if she's checking to see if the me that's in this chair is comfortable enough, like does she
Oh,
have, or is the seat high enough, are the arms right, does she need something else, so it's like this slightly nervous, concerned hostess kind of
okay.
help.
So this is a slightly nervous, concerned hostess that's trying to check if your seat is all right and everything is all right.
Mm.
Hmm. So be aware that there is this kind of self in me.
It's like what I'm noticing about this self is that it's as though she's concerned about her guests or her others, but she's not settling down. Like
Oh, I
she's
see.
still
Yeah,
standing up or kind of almost not fully standing, just
yeah.
maybe clearing off the table or some little like movement that is
So she's more concerned with others or the well-being of others than of herself.
mm-hmm.
Hmm. Okay, so notice that that's there. And thank this hostess for this, because this is also a part of you. And you can send compassion if you want to.
as I'm thanking the self, it's like
Mm.
I'm feeling thankful almost to like Wendy at 8:30, you know, kind of making sure I had something comfortable to wear and
Mhm.
all the things, you know, I did for myself,
Mhm.
you know, so that I could be present now. So
Right.
I'm noticing that.
So you're thanking this hostess to get you prepared to come to this today, this morning, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And if you're ready, we can go back to the breathing, the air coming in and air going out, rising and falling. Mm-hmm.
I have another thought that's coming, and it's like thinking about just this shared space, like thinking about people who are here, like people I don't know and people I do know, just sensing the kind of curiosity
Mm-hmm.
um, about the shared space, like the attendees, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, just wondering, kind of like imagining everybody watching the screen and stuff.
Right. So it's a kind of a curiosity,
Mm,
is it?
yeah, it's curiosity and something about like something about like a connection, like yeah, it's like just it's a it's a thought that comes. It's like there's a very like uh it's kind of intense, like just to imagine how there's different people all over the world present
Mm,
with us.
kind of intense. Yeah, okay. So there's a kind of intense, overwhelming kind of sense there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if it's overwhelming, it's like overwhelming in a way that's like it's almost like magical, you know. I know it's like technology, but it's also
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
this is possible, kind of like
yeah, right. Yeah. Okay, so be aware that there is that kind of self there that's so amazed by the technology. And
I'm
what
really
does it?
getting a image of the self. It surprised me just now.
Yeah.
It's like it's like a little kid. I feel like I'm a little kid, kind of like looking behind the
Ah,
curtain. like
Right.
peeking behind the fourth wall, kind of like she's peeking, like
Oh, it's a he?
it's a she, like she's kind of peeking like a maybe like 4 or 5 years old.
Oh, okay. So it's she, 4 or 5-year-old girl that's peeking from behind the curtain. Yeah, okay. So be aware of that. Hmm.
I'm
Is she
noticing. Oh,
is she telling you something? Sorry.
she's telling me something. She's kind of she's a little bit mischievous. Like she
Mm-hmm.
kind of knows like
Mm-hmm.
that if somebody sees her looking,
Mm-hmm.
she'll be it'll be okay. Like she won't get in trouble, or she won't be scolded. She's kind of like um uh she knows also she's she's well behaved enough, to know that she's not going to do something like out of line. So she's kind of like, yeah, a little bit mischievous, but
Okay.
also feeling safe.
That's very interesting that she has a feeling of being mischievous, but being okay. She's behaved enough. She's well behaved, but she's mischievous. All right. Okay, maybe we might thank this part for being there. And maybe send the words of compassion to her. Yes. I see you smile. How's she doing?
I think the way she receives the gratitude is like this very childlike kind of like, like, mm.
Right. Mhm.
I feel like I'm proud of her.
Ah, mm-hmm. So be aware of that. You're proud of her.
Mhm.
Okay, so can we come back to breathing? Okay.
This thought that's coming, it's kind of vague, but it's something about like time. It's
Mm-hmm.
about like time passing, sort of even something about like wishing this was a longer time, the whole
Huh.
experience. There's something about um, oh, like maybe it's something like 2 hours isn't enough, or
Oh,
wanting more, it's something like
mm,
that.
So about this session here,
Mm,
feeling that you're wanting more.
yeah.
Okay, so be aware of that, that you are wanting more of this. And do you have an image of that self
Mm.
that's wanting more of this? Hmm.
Yeah, it's like um, kind of imagining like a version of myself that is like really so like kind of relaxed, like lying down in the grass in like a sunny meadow, like,
Mm-hmm.
and actually like I'm seeing myself as like more chubby, like
More chubby, yeah.
kind of like like a comfortable like fat cat, kind of like just but I'm like a person, but
Yeah.
it's like oh, we could just stay here all day.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
And she's like I think she knows that like she knows that there's like time passes, she knows that like the weekend comes to an end, and
Yeah.
the time in the meadow comes to an end, the sun goes down, like she knows all of these things. And so there's something about her that's like kind of pretending, kind of like, let's just pretend that we can just lay like all forever, like, but she
Okay.
also
Yeah.
knows it's not like forever.
Okay. So be aware of that, that there is that kind of self there that's a little chubby and in the meadow and not worried about time passing. Is she telling you something?
Well, I think she's telling me like that she is like, it's a little bit of like mixed in together, like sad that she can't lay in the meadow all day, like sad that she knows she can't stop time, and also kind of like almost like determined to like be as connected with the ground as possible, to like feel the sun as much as possible, almost like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
she's not unaware that time passes and that like the time
Ah, I see.
comes, but she's sad about that, but also
Mm, mm, mm.
wants to make it like,
Mm, mm, mm,
wants to
mm, mm.
enjoy it.
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
She knows that time is going to pass, but she's a little bit, I don't know, defiant, or she's a little bit like not stubborn, but she's
Mm.
trying to be there as long as she
Yeah.
wants.
Yeah, yeah. And there is a little bit of stubbornness too. It's a little bit like planted kind of, but like stubborn, but also, and stubborn and defiant, but also like sad because
and sad, and
yeah,
sad.
it's just
Yeah. Okay.
That's how time passes, you know, it keeps
Mm,
going. Like
mm, mm,
she doesn't
mm,
have that power, so yeah, it's like
mm,
mixed in together, like
mm,
this
mm,
the
mm,
sort
mm,
of like I am determined to make the most of this
mhm,
relax time, and
mhm.
I'm
Uh-huh.
so gonna notice the time pass.
Oh, but I'm getting just what I got is that she's aware of impermanence, that time will pass. Mm. And she's a little bit sad about that.
Yeah.
Mhm. Right. So be aware of that and send her compassion. May I be well and happy, and may I be at peace. Right. How are you doing now?
Well, it's almost as I'm in the offering that compassion and recognizing like how that scene is like the scene of where she's at, this other thought starts to make itself known, and it's sort of it implies a next step in a way, because the thought is like, I really like being outside, and I
Hmm.
really have not been in the practice of being outside. So that thought is already showing up.
Okay, so there's another thought there that you haven't been outside and you really want to be outside.
Mm.
Okay, so be aware of that and thank that part for reminding you of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like she's outside, and so she's like, yeah, like this feels good, remember?
Right, yeah, 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 yeah. Hmm. Can I ask you, is it the corona thing that makes it difficult for you to have the opportunity to go out in the sun?
Partly, yeah. I think especially yeah. And
Yeah.
the something I did yesterday, which I hadn't done yet until
Mm.
throughout Corona times, like I spent like 3 hours sitting outside with my
Mm.
friend. She
Mhm.
came and she had her beach chair, and I had my beach
Mhm.
chair, and we sat on the beach like 6 feet
Great.
apart. And
Yeah.
uh, it was it was good conditions to be outside, and I felt so nourished by that. And at the
Mm.
same time, part of the experience was noticing like people nearby, you know, like are they not being careful, and
Right. Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
present at the same time.
Mm. Mm. Okay.
Mhm.
So getting back to that part of you that's wanting to be out in the sun, and I'm a little bit conscious of time, so um, it's really weird to talk about time with this self of yours that's conscious of time. But I think the time is coming up if you can bring yourself back to the air coming in and air going out of your nose. Okay. When you're ready, we can end the session.
I'm ready.
Okay. So thank you.
Thank you, Akira. This was such an amazing experience, such a great opportunity. I thank you for it.
Yes, it was very moving. Right. Okay, so now should we